Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are really excited for tonight's call. It's been a while since we've had a good, nice training call, so I'm excited for this. And I just think that this topic is super relevant. We were just talking about it. This is such a great thing to go over for any level of coaching. If you're brand new or if you've been doing this for years, this skill that Jackie is going to talk about tonight is something that is just super valuable and is going to help kind of redirect you, reassess, and help you kind of figure out at, maybe once a month or once every few months, like what your goal market is, who your goal market is, what are the people you want and desire and are passionate about working with and reaching. So, the host tonight is going to be Jackie. She is one of my downline coaches. She is a rock star. She went to Summit a few months ago and just has been, I feel like, on fire since then. Very close to Diamond, just hard worker, and really took the time to kind of do some research and put put the information that goes into this call together. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. So if you guys don't know, she's going to go through some information, go through some slides, share what she's been learning about it, and then we're going to take some time to work through it all together, which is going to be really fun. And we'll play some good music again. So everybody, here's Jackie, and we're excited to hear what you have for us.
Hello. Thanks, Wendy. Like Wendy said, I'm super excited to give this call. Ever since Summit, I've really been trying to dive into the business, give it everything I have. And one of the main things that people talked about from day one was creating your avatar. And I was like, okay, sure, but let me actually do something that I can put on my page. Let me write posts. No one's going to know if I don't create an avatar. I generally know who I want to help because everyone just wants to help everyone, right? But since coming back from Summit, I've really been trying to not question the process and do what people keep telling us to do, because I feel like a lot of the time we want to just reinvent the wheel. So I decided to turn off my brain and let other people tell me what to do. And since doing that, it's really made a huge change in my business and really effective. And so especially with the avatars, I've been trying to do a lot of research on what questions do I need to be asking myself in order to create this avatar. And for some of the newer coaches, if you've never heard that term before, you might hear people talk about your ideal customer, your target market, your ideal avatar. They're pretty much all mean the same thing, which means if you were to get a challenge group member or maybe even a coach under you, who would that ideal person be? What does their life look like? What does their past history with health and fitness look like? What does their daily life look like? Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Have they been an athlete their whole life and fell off the wagon? Do they have different medical issues that they might struggle with? And so I really wanted to collectively look at all the information that's out there, and I found that there really isn't a ton. And so I tried to come up with my own, and hopefully it'll be helpful for everyone else. So I'm going to pull up my slides here real quick, and we can get started. Like Wendy said, hold on, let me share my screen. Like Wendy said, we're going to do just a little bit of information about avatars, and then I really want a bulk of this session to be about an active session to create it. So can you guys see my slide right now? Yes. Were you good? Okay. I'm going to go back. Wendy, if you can't see it, unmute and then let me know. Okay. So creating your ideal avatar. So let's see. For this team call, I wanted to start with what is an avatar, which I already a little bit explained, and why are these avatars important? How can they affect your business? And why is it so important that everyone's ingraining them in this process? But like I said, I really want to take action on this call. I really want to have this be a solid hour where we can sit down, put pen to paper, and create our avatars right here. I loved our past call that we've done where we did a power hour all together, and I thought that was really effective. So why not come out of this hour with our ideal avatar already created? So going through that, we're going to cover different lifestyle questions, social media, nutrition, fitness, what their employment might look like, what their financial situation is, and really dig into all of those different areas of the people's lives. Then once we have all of those ideas kind of sorted through, get different statements about them, I really want to look into how we can use this to target our ideal market, how you can manifest these statements that we're going to come up with into actual posts on our like page. I'm not going to go too much into examples of that, but that will be more of a collective discussion. And then at the end, I do want to get everyone else's input too. Like I said, a lot of these questions I've just come up with on my own. There's roughly 50 of them in this session. We'll spend like 10 to 30 seconds on each, but I really want to get everyone's input. So at the end, I want people to share their thoughts or different ideas about what is helpful in building their avatars. So everyone has a different avatar. It's based primarily on your journey. Like I said earlier, it's your ideal customer, that person that you want to come to you. It's a persona that you create based on who you would best connect with. And like Wendy alluded to in the introduction, your avatars are constantly changing. And so even if you are a coach who's been doing this for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, there's always a time in which you can recreate your avatar. Every couple of months, revisit it. See if your journey would still connect with this ideal person. And so this was one quote that I loved when I was researching avatars, and it was, if you're trying to reach everyone, you are reaching nobody. And this just really stuck out with me because I feel like a lot of the time we just want to make generic posts, and that's a somewhat of a downfall for a lot of, especially beginner coaches, posing pictures with Shakeology bottles, just doing, look, I did my workout today. Did you? Like just very standard images that might not really resonate and connect with people. And so that's one large reason why your avatar is important. So this is a person that you can target all of your posts to. They're completely personalized because without them, a lot of posts are often like generic and in the long run ineffective. So you want your person, when they come to your page, be like, wow, this person is talking directly to me. As a coach, you want to be able to share your day-to-day life, share your story with others, and breadcrumb different elements of your life that they might connect with. So you want to be able to identify their pain, identify their fears, frustrations, desires, their dreams, and you are essentially will be talking to them through your like page without even knowing who they are. So that way, once the conversation is initiated with them, if people have been following your journey, you already build that trust with them. They know so many elements about your life, and you already have tons of talking points. So people will begin coming to you, which is a huge turning point when building your business. So this quote kind of reinforces that. People don't connect with statistics. They connect with you and your story. I kind of generalized a quote that I remember hearing this at Summit. Don't exactly quote me on it, but this is really just what stuck out to me. Like, especially with Shakeology, we can list off all the benefits of Shakeology, how good it is for you, how it's good for your energy, reduce cravings, weight loss, all those things. But people have probably at this point seen 2-3 of their friends who might be Beachbody coaches posing with Shakeology bottles listing statistics. Statistics aren't what people are going to buy from. It's you and your story. People can sell anything with statistics if that's the way that they're convinced. But what's really going to stand out is you and your story. And you want to share your story with people who have similar histories to you. Because if you do that, then it'll be easier for you. It'll be more enjoyable. It won't feel like work. It'll make your life a lot easier. And so really when posting about your story, another takeaway from Summit, they really emphasize the idea of really making your post only 20% about Beachbody, and the 80% is just you and your lifestyle, your opinions, things like that. And so your avatar can really help you tune into that. So here's an example of my avatar. I know it's a lot of text. I'm actively working on cutting it down, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick example of visualization before we actually get started. So a lot of trainings focus on having descriptions about your avatar, putting a name and especially a face to the person. You want to be able to have this person in your head. So these are just stock images, honestly, that I grabbed from online. I went through a lot of different ones. I just searched like young 20s female artist. I was a studio art and art history major in undergrad, and so that's really the lifestyle that I connect with. And so now, since I've been making my post, I put a name to her, Laura. She's 25-year-old, lives near a city. You can go through all the different categories here. These are some of my answers from the questions that we're going to work through later. But it really dives into her like deep emotional and mental fears. It explores how she uses social media. If my target person was all over Tumblr, then I would probably start a Tumblr page, but my ideal person isn't on there. They're on Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat. We explore their nutrition history, her fitness history, things that she might be embarrassed to admit from her past, all things like that. So here's just an example to keep in mind once we're doing these questions. So now that we have all that covered, I really want to dive into this activity. So I want to get started with, I want to look at these questions and build our avatars. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready, maybe pull up a Word document or something. And just remember that there are no wrong answers to these questions. I'm going to set a timer for about 10 to 30 seconds for each. This call obviously will be recorded. And so if you do end up missing a question or if you're actively working on another one, don't worry, you can come back to this video. I'll also try to release the questions in the text when we post the video so you can just grab them and maybe work on them in your own time. But if you do end up having more time, some questions you might have more longer answers to than others. Try thinking of the question in a different lens. I found that was really helpful. Think of it, okay, from an emotional standpoint, from a physical standpoint, and just try to get into the head of the person that you want coming to you. And so you can also go back and develop previous questions that you might have run out of time on, or also try to come up with other questions that might help the group. I mentioned this earlier, so at the end, I really want people to share how they've created their avatars in the past. I am by no means an expert. So if there's any other really good questions that you found to be helpful, or if you think of some during this exercise, please share them with the group. And so I am going to, before we start, put on some music. I'm going to try to make this as big as I can while still being able to see your guys' faces, so that way I can really gauge when y'all are ready. So let's see. Is this good for everyone? Can you see the questions? Yes. Okay, so first question, who would your ideal customer's age range be? And I'm just going to read out the questions and then move on to the next one. Obviously, the questions are in front of you guys, so if you do finish, you can move on, but I'm going to try to pace us so we stay on time. Okay, so number 2, are they single, married, have kids, etc.? Where does your ideal person live? Do they live in a city, suburbs, rural? Do they live in an apartment or in a house? Okay, number 4, what are their hobbies and interests? What do they do for fun? If they were given an entire day free of responsibility, what would that day look like? I'll have a slightly longer break for this one. Also, please let me know if I'm moving too fast. Just message in the text box or something. Okay, number 5, personality traits. How would your ideal customer express, or what would their personality traits be? Are they shy, outgoing, super motivated, self-conscious in certain areas? Just in general, what would those personality traits be? And what personality traits do they wish they had more of? Okay, number 7. What could your ideal avatar talk about all day long? Number 8, what are your ideal customers' insecurities? And that should be physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'll give you guys a good amount of time for this one. Okay, number 9, what are their fears? Number 10, what makes them lose sleep and what keeps them up at night? Okay, number 11, what would they be ashamed to admit? Okay, number 12, what are their bad habits? This is kind of a general question. We'll dive a little more detail later, but just in general. Okay, what are they most annoyed by? Number 14, what do they struggle with most right now? This is a good question to try to look at through multiple lenses. Okay, number 15, what has held them back in the past? Number 16, whose opinions do they value the most? Number 17, what do they get excited about? Okay, moving on to their social media habits. Number 1, which platforms are they currently on? Number 2, who, other than their friends, other than their friends' accounts, who do they follow on these platforms? They might follow different brands, maybe certain celebrities, professional athletes. What other accounts other than their friends do they follow? Okay, number 3, what attracts them to those pages? Which visuals do they best connect with? Which content? Number 4, what value are they taking from those posts? Are they just looking for instant gratification, different tips, motivation, inspiration? What are they looking to get out of following these people? Number 5, what time are they most likely on these accounts? Do they check it in the morning when they're waking up, pressing the snooze alarm, before they go to bed, maybe during a lunch break at work? What time are they most on these platforms? Okay, moving on to their nutrition characteristics. Number 1, what do they shop for? Yeah, where do they shop, and what are standards in their shopping cart? What are their go-to items? Yeah, Haley, good comment. These should be like what the person you want coming to you normally shops for. Do they normally get easy to package snacks for their kids? Is their life really hectic on the go? Are they trying to make super extravagant, complex meals they think include 1,000 ingredients? Are their go-tos more processed? Things like that. Yes, pizza rolls, definitely. So this kind of goes with number 2. Do they plan a shopping list or meal prep? If so, what does that normally include? What does their weekly shopping include? And if not, why? Like, what's their reason for, or what is their thought process when going into a store? Like I said earlier in this talk, a lot of these questions might overlap. It just kind of depends on how you approach them. I tried to include condensed emails or condensed questions that might overlap a little bit, but rather do that than leave them out. So number 3, what are their go-to meals, snacks, guilty pleasures? Probably goes with what's in the shopping cart. And then number 4, what unhealthy habits are they really trying to kick? Like if they had an ideal diet, what would they think that looked like? Which goes with number 5, what do they wish they were better about? Okay, number 6, what nutrition or dieting myth do they believe? This I thought was a huge one when creating your avatar. Okay, number 7, what in regard to nutrition might they be scared or embarrassed to admit? Which also links to number 8, what have they tried in the past that has not worked for them? We'll do 20 more seconds to finish up the nutrition. Okay, moving on to fitness. What body area or fitness element are they most concerned about improving? Okay, number 2, where they are right now in their level of fitness, what would they consider a good workout and how long would that Okay, number 3. While number 2 might be their ideal good workout, if they were to work out, what would that include? And where would that workout take place? Are they do in-home workouts, yoga studios, gyms? When they think of fitness, what do they think? Number 4, what excuses do they often use not to work out, even when they think that they should? Okay, number 5, what workout myth do they believe? What is a misconception about fitness that they buy into? Number 6, what in regard to fitness might they be scared or embarrassed to admit? Let's go to 7, what in the past have they tried that has not worked for them, and why did it? I'll give another 30 seconds for the fitness section. Okay, it looks like almost everyone's done. We'll go to the employment and financial habits. What level of education did they earn? Number 2, what professional or field are they in? What profession or field? This might be where some people shy away from the avatar of not wanting to be too specific. Obviously, it's not saying, hey, if you're not in this job profession, I can't reach out to you. This is just your ideal person that you're thinking of. Number 3, what character traits are ideal for a professional in that field? Number 4, what hardships does this field possess? This could be emotionally, physically, how it might affect their personal life. Tons of different ways to interpret this question. Give you an extra 30 seconds for that one. Okay, number 5. Conversely, what joys does this field bring into their life? What are some rewards that they receive from this profession? Number 6, do they still enjoy this profession? If so, why? If not, then why not? This is kind of elaborating on questions 4 and 5 about the joys and hardships and kind of how it's affecting their emotional state, mental being, the impact it's having overall on their life. and what their goals for their profession might be. Okay, working into finances. Number 7, what is their financial status? Are they comfortable with where they are? Do they have a lot of extra cushion? Money's not a huge issue. Are they struggling to make it by? How would they generally categorize their financial stability? Number 8, how do they feel about this status? This kind of might go along with what's their opinion about money. Okay, number 9, what is their biggest concern financially? Are they worried about sending their kids to college? Are they worried about making their monthly rent? Are they worried about having spare money to go out with their friends? What's their biggest issue and goal financially? Okay, number 10, how does this financial concern make them feel? Number 12, how would they, number 11, if they were to have some extra cash, how would they use it? Okay, number 12, what would they consider treating themselves? And 13, going along with 12, how does treating themselves make them feel? Maybe they like to go get their nails done, boosting their confidence. Maybe they'll buy a new outfit. Maybe it's taking their kids out to an amusement park. Things like that. Okay, that's all the 50 questions that I've come up with right now. I'm going to give everyone probably about a solid 2 minutes to try to skim through, see if you want to elaborate on any points. Maybe your hands too busy writing. So just take 2-3 minutes, go through your thoughts, your answers, maybe condense them, elaborate, and then we'll continue. Maybe one more minute. Seconds. Okay. Let me stop the music. What did everyone think about those questions? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Good. Thank you, Kaylee. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, so like some of you are alluding to, when I went through some of these questions and we're developing them, you can pretty much make thousands of posts out of each of these statements. So here's some call to actions that we can do now that we have all of these answers. I want everyone to be able to create their avatars. Like you saw in my example in the beginning, condensing down all of these answers. You can compile all these statements into a visual that I don't have a printer, so I'm going to print mine tomorrow, but print it out and keep it with you at your desk wherever you build your business. Maybe just keep an image of it on your phone, have a printout in your planner, and then if you're stuck on a post, refer back to it. So once I answered my questions, this is the compiled information that I came up with. I pretty much broke it down into all the different sections. Some coaches break it into categories, some don't. I thought it was beneficial just so if I'm like, hey, I just cooked dinner, and besides just wanting to post a pretty picture about my dinner, I can go into the nutrition and say, let's see, although they would like to shop from a list, often they just wing it. They grab what they need at the time, which makes them go to the store multiple times a week. So yes, it might be a delicious picture of kale nachos, but I might just talk about how normally this meal would take me an hour to make because I have to go to the grocery store and get the ingredients. But by planning ahead and getting all the groceries on Sunday, it's Thursday, and I whip this up in 10 minutes. These are just ways that you can plant seeds in their brain. And so you're drawing attention to problems that they might not even recognize are wastes of time in their life. And like, wait, yeah, like why am I going to the grocery store 4 times a week? If I actually take half an hour to plan, I'll save myself 2 hours this entire week. Things like that. So like I said earlier, like put a name to your person, put a picture to her or him if he's a guy. And then I condense mine down into statements. Again, like I said before, some of the answers to your questions might be repetitive. So condensing them down, maybe elaborating on certain points, really going into if they've had a history with certain things in the past, how does that manifest in their day-to-day life? How does it trickle into other areas? And when I close, I just wanted to share one quote that isn't directly related to avatars, but one that I loved when doing avatar research. So it says, attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire. I think this is great when talking about avatars just because people will be attracted to you if you show similar characteristics to them, if you have similar struggles to them, a similar story. But I think it's also a great reminder that, yes, we want to connect with our ideal customers, but we also need to act in a way that we'd want our ideal coaches to act. If you really want people to be drawn to you that are like super organized and really good with time management and like pretty much do everything on the checklist that they're told, go through the group trainings really diligently, then you have to be able to follow up and do that yourself. So you have to be able to reflect that in your posts as well. A lot of the posts are really about sharing your story, and so being able to share with your avatar. Hold on. Sorry, my mom just tried to FaceTime me. So being able to share with your avatar before they even have a conversation with you and reading their brain, I feel like it's really what avatars are about. So with that, I'm going to...
Awesome, Jackie. Oh my God. Wendy had well, actually, I think she's on her phone. but I don't think she can talk. So she asked me to close everything out. So I just wanted to say that I have struggled myself with making my avatar. And so just like, I have a tiny little notepad, but just going through, like, I have all these pages answering questions, and it helped me so much. So I hope that it was able to help some of you other people. And I saw in the comments, Haley was like, I have so many posts, and I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to talk about now.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing that. I know that the list and the slides and everything had to have taken you a lot of time, and it shows in your avatar that, you know, that you have put in the time. And it just shows me that because I've put this off for so long, like, you know, here I am and I still don't have an avatar, you know, but it just shows me so much that I never thought about it to that extent and how much it can actually help me. And you have put that in perspective. So thank you so much for that. Does anybody have any questions for Jackie on this?
Or just any ideas or questions about avatars. These are just categories that I try to come up with. When making one question, I kind of led to, oh, that would be a really good question too. So if anyone came up with any other questions or areas of interest that might help others.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, just going through your list and going through your questions, it just leads you to ask yourself more questions about who you are. And, you know, I really want to emphasize to those that are on the call, like, you want to think about where you were before you started your journey, and kind of into your journey a little bit, you know, the first couple months about the things that you struggled with or whatever, and ask yourself those hard questions that, you know, you don't want to think about or whatever. Let's see, Haley, what did you use to make your list so organized? Like a program? Did I miss that? I want to make one to print.
I actually use Adobe Illustrator. I have like the Adobe Suite program. So one of the few perks of being an art major. High tech things. But you could probably just make like columns in Word. My content, like, I found there were like so many statements and answers to my questions that it was hard to fit it on one page. I think it's like 11 point font, maybe 10. So even if you did maybe like a front and back with columns might be helpful.
Definitely super organized. It's an emerald thing. That's why I have no avatar. Not an emerald at all. All right. Does anybody have anything else? No? Just awesome job, Jackie. Will you post in the team page your slides?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So all those questions will be in the Team Simplify page, and I'm going to steal them from there and put them in my Daydream Believers page.
Yeah.
And anyway, just thank you so much. It's so helpful.
Of course. Anytime, guys.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.